Very warm good evening on this Friday. It's the 16th of January 2025. 26, sorry, not 25, 26. And it's another Indian football and more discussion here on my channel, Arun Foot. And it's another conversation today, hopefully, on the things that are happening in Indian football and more. And as always, at the start of the video, if you like what we're talking about, if you like what the conversation is about, leave a like behind, share with other people to be able to either join in the live or join in the upcoming lives. And of course, also do leave a subscription behind. If you haven't subscribed so far, we stand at 3,709 at this moment. And watch my short videos. I did something today on my beloved Bayern Munich, incredible Bayern Munich, I've named it. The club has done really, really well in the last few weeks and months, and therefore that is what I have done and decided to do. So therefore, as always, thank you very much, and and see. Your opinion regarding Manisha Kalyan joining Peruvian top division club? Guessing by the social media accounts, the club has a pretty good fan base. Alianza Lima. What to say? Ravar, to me, in the first instance, it's a good move. In the sense of that she stays abroad again for the link that she was linked to joining East Bengal, right? And I think for her, it is better to be abroad than uh, stay in India or come back to India. So therefore, for me, to me, it is. They are. Let me just check. They've won the last 4 out of the last 5 national level titles. And so for me, it's a good move for her. It's a good move, and hopefully she is successful in Peru. Hi, Augusto. Welcome back. She's already played with quite a few international clubs. Hope she gets a Spanish or English or American football leagues in her career. Let's see, Zuravar. I mean, many would be now saying too much. She's been to Cyprus. She's now been to Greece. Greece, I guess, wouldn't be counted fully as a success. So therefore, from that perspective, I think she has to do better. And if you ask me, let's wait and see where she can go. She has to play. Manisha Kanan, Eugene is big for Indian football, but concern is whether she get game time. Come as substitute, but women are doing so good regarding playing outside. Proud of you, Manisha. Yeah, Shanlata, I mean, doing good playing outside. I don't know how much that counts. Again, she's currently the only big name Indian female footballer to play outside of India. So if you want to ask me from that perspective, I think she's done well for herself, and she's doing good for not only herself but also for Indian football. But if you want to think about regular Indian female footballers playing outside, then we don't have too many. We've had players who've gone out, who've come back. Jyoti, Somya, to name them. We've had in the past Bala Devi playing abroad. So from that perspective, surely there is something, but again, regularly playing abroad, regularly playing outside of India, I think is a tough ask, and we'll have to wait to see if she can achieve something in Peru. No? I say, how feasible is I-League roadmap proposed by AIFF? Utsav, it's de facto the same thing, just that they don't have oversight like in the ISL. And, so therefore for me, I don't know. I'm not sure about all these roadmaps, because for me the problem at the moment, if you ask me, with when we come to talk about the whatever the AIFF is proposing in the ISL or in the I-League, is that really feasible over a certain period of time? And to me, if you ask me, I don't know. I honestly don't know if it really makes sense or not. Hey, Uchut, move to Peru. How good is that league? She needs match time, perform, and then move back to Europe. Uchut, I honestly know not that much about Peru and their women's game. Um, so therefore that's the thing. If I look at the Lega Femina, um, so 13 clubs at the moment, spread across the country. But again, I guess it's going to be more competitive. Um, you know, So therefore, for me, um, I think it's good that she wants to. She's gone there for the challenge again. She could have taken the easy way out and gone to East Bengal. And therefore, let's wait and see. Can she be already considered greatest in women football or no, sir? She for that for my consideration, she still has to do more, right? So therefore, if I see, um, you mentioned yourself, Aditi Chauhan, I would Bala Devi surely would be part of that conversation as well. So I don't know, honestly, very difficult to me. Women team in this Asia Cup, if played in best form, could definitely reach knockouts. We have Avika, Manisha having played so much abroad, along with main team, which is not that good but still decent. They haven't played that much abroad. They have played abroad, Shanata. And the difference, to me, I think we need quality, and I don't know where the quality is going to come by. FPI Asia Oceania has released a statement regarding irregular and reduced salaries. Don't know whether this will have any impact or not. Uchut, again, fifth row, you mean? Mm, so therefore, for me, mm, very, very important point is that this is, you know, the the point is not about reduced salaries, but the irregular salaries, right? And to me, there is um, that is, I think, a big, big point at the moment. Um, that there have been a lot of entities who supposedly over um, the second half of 2025 didn't pay salaries. You know, so um, so therefore, for me, you know, um, so therefore, there's too many problems in and around the ISL, and that is what is being showcased and highlighted, and that is where they're way stuck. So sorry, we said Jordan dragging Japan to penalty, but watched Japan game ball control was slightly not that good, and passing final third was many times not proper. Now really feel football quality dipping. Sure enough, I've said that. I don't know even if the best Japanese boys who are playing in Europe are actually playing the tournament. I don't think they are, right? FC Goa players have agreed to reduce salaries. Yes, they've reduced salaries. FC Goa have released players. At the moment, only Dejan Razic and Paul Moreno on books. And if they could, I guess those two would also go. So therefore, from that perspective, all the teams are looking to cut costs at the moment. And teams are not even looking at signing players here or there, right? ISL fixture still not out. Is it a worrying sign? Augusto, do we know who's going to play where? I think realistically, I'm not surprised. Um, there are issues, right? You've got elections in Bengal. You have um, in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu. Grounds seem to be everywhere in issue, right? Again, the only one who most probably don't have a problem are Jamshedpur FC with the JRD Sports Complex in Jamshedpur. Everybody else has an issue, right? And these are things which so therefore that it is. So yeah, that's what it is. The quality not the best, but still playing more friendlies could probably help us manage game better in tournament and bring sufficient results for knockouts. I believe in this team. Okay, Shanlat, I wish for you. I'm surprised that Goenka is still sticking with Moulmang. I thought as soon as Afzal left, they will be among the first to leave. Yet Moulmang Supergiant kept training despite the uncertainty. In fact, according to sources, they're actively looking for a foreign midfielder likely from Japan. Um, yeah. So for me, Zarawa, yeah, big point that you have there to ask, to think about, to ponder about. Um, but you know, the question is why are they still around? And let's see where we're going with this, right? Ajay has been loaned to Indonesia. Wow, just give the trophy to Mohun Bagan. It's over. Here we're finally in Indian Super League. Aditya, let's see. Your thoughts on the early proposal given to the clubs by AIFF? To be honest, it's if this proposal that given the clubs the kind of freedom the asset clubs have been asking for, minimum veto power. Footy tribe de facto it's the same. It's just that again that one big point is a difference, and to me, again, it is a challenge the way it's been built, and the question is that are the clubs willing to pay something, right? Do I League have money to pay 2 lakh a season? No. Why I League is getting so much priority right now? Ask the AFF, 20 lakh. Utsav, they don't have 2 lakhs, they don't have 20 lakhs to pay. And why is the priority? Should be asked the AFF. Is the AFF given the I League priority? That would be my question. Even when AFF proposed the league, they were among the first to agree along with East Bengal. Were they? Again, there are reasons for it, which again I can't publicly speak. Skugata collected 70 lakh from donation loading for 1 crore. Okay. Dada, some Indonesian fans are praising our broadcast quality under ISL highlights and compared to European ones. Shivam, I've said this. I've said this many times. Um, I would, you know, I would think that the quality was very good. I've said this multiple times, right? Our quality of the ISL broadcast is has been really top notch. When majority asset clubs are hesitating, listen, there are reasons for it, and again, there are some things I guess I can't speak publicly about Sarawak. Now, this season they will laugh on our quality. Of course, they will. Right. So we are in a very bad state and bad shape. Let's see. Goenka is too rich to lose and don't care about losses, similar to Saudi Qatar on clubs and leagues. No, Pablo's animation. I wouldn't agree to that point, to be very honest. There are different things, and yeah, again, sometimes there are things which are, you know, um, the problem where we are, and let's see what happens. Then why ISL and ILE proposals are so different? Why not govern them equal terms? Shivam, good question. No idea. Actually, no idea. And to me, the problem is that while it seems like you're treating the ISL like a stepchild, and you're treating the I League as your own, right? So, um, which is which is weird in itself, but and once it doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense to treat A like this and B like this, where your priority should be if these people were smart enough, and so that is the problem at the moment that I realize. And to me, yeah, I think the question now slowly needs to be asked: does the current AFF want to leave a damaged product behind for a new AFF to take over? Mumbai and East Bengal have become a stain on Indian club culture. says Aditya. Will Noah come back after loan? Um, his contract will end, right? No, Prasad, you cannot go on loan to another entity if your contract runs out direct in parallel to the loan deal. So a Noah Sadui would at least have a contract till 2027, right? Aladdin Ajare has extended his contract till 2028. So there is hope of certain entities that things will get proper in the summer. Really very excited for a March, a World Cup dream for a senior team makes it much more big. They want time to quickly end to see women team chasing big target, playing big matches. Chanlata, let's see. As Mohun Bagan fan, I second you, bro, says Shivam to Aditya. I personally think that Mohun Bagan is a historical identity which Goenka doesn't want to let go. No. Zoravar, you're so far off again, and I personally think when you start with that, I always get nowadays shivers because again, you're so far away from reality. There are other things in the background happening around Mohun Bagan Super Giants. No one cares about East Bengal Mohun Bagan and the damage they're actively contributing in football. AFF used this Anwali case to bring East Bengal and Mohun Bagan on board. Okay, I don't know how you know that, but Aditya, in the Indonesian league, got benefited from all of this mess, says Augusto. Uh, I don't know if it is. Again, maybe yeah, the league was always decent. Have they gotten now better quality foreigners? Maybe. Question is, are they really gaining from it? It will be interesting to see in the next few weeks, right? I mean, we will say that the top ISL foreigners have gone there. So the question is, has it, yeah, has it helped them? And that will be very interesting to see what happens in the Indonesian league. I didn't know you can't go on loan if you're on your last year of contract. Yeah, Utsav, you have to have a certain period on your loan still available. Otherwise, you cannot go on loan. So you can't go on loan for the last 6 months of your contract. Kera Blasters posted about Luna with the title loan update, but for Noah, it was thank you. Loan was only said on the caption. I think Noah is not coming back. Lucifer, there is you can't loan a player with 6 months on your contract. So if you loan a player, um, thinking just as a European example, who do I remember? Where did they go? Uh, um, so therefore, yeah, again, Aladdin Ajare is the idea, right? Aladdin Ajare extended contract by 2 years and then went on loan for the next 5 months. Good evening, Siddharth. Welcome back. We'll live in reality, not over, so it's still excited for Asian Cup. Ronata, I hope it doesn't end in a disaster. What was the need of new coach for women team? YF is already on verge of financial brink. Siddharth, there is a little confusion on the fact that if Crispin Chetri has a AFC Pro license or not. I'm not sure if he has or doesn't. So that seems to be something that AFF has been looking for a foreign coach for a certain period of time. Let's be honest about that. Is it a money matter? I don't know. There might be some money going in, someone paying for it and goodwill and all that stuff. So there's some maybe some help coming from somewhere, but they were looking at someone, and yeah, let's wait and see what happens with Madame Valverde coming in, and let's see if she can be a positive addition to the Indian women's team. That I think all clubs should revolt against this affirmative vote, simply veto proposal. This is the main point of the problem. Um, Shivam, they should have never agreed to play. If the clubs were one unit, one entity, they could have, they could have really put pressure on the federation, right? Which they've never done. Right? That is the whole thing, in my opinion, with the clubs. The clubs have been unable to jointly stand together. Um, so therefore, for me, that's the problem. And if you offer a different model to the I League, then those guys, yeah, why has it happened? Nobody knows why it is the way it is, right? So therefore, we're in a very weird scenario, and a lot of things don't really make sense. I was actually trying to divert us with this mess, to be honest, by bringing Amalia. No, they're not, Shivam. All of this is happening. They wanted someone else. They didn't get someone else. Didn't get that person. Again, there were, I think, two or three coaches in the running for the job, which wasn't being shared in the market. I think even Crispin Chetri found out, like you and me, that there is someone called Amalia Valverde, who's said to become, women's coach, and then they're saying mentor, and it's a mess. It's a mess. Is women team coach funded by Coca-Cola? Babalu's animation, as far as I know, no. But again, you never know that they might have gotten money, and they again, let's wait and see. Scooter Malab, Indian food, we will make 10 Messi like stars. Yeah, Rakesh, we're just waiting for it. It's just days away. Will the club say that they want the same governance model as I-League? Lucifer, good question. It's a good question, which the clubs need to, you know, uh, you know. So let's see what is the thing. Good is that we have 4 chance of qualifying worker. Let's see. Even we convert 1 chance, hope AIFF gets proper exposure. Nothing much to say. Shanlata, nothing much to say, and you've been going on for the whole evening about this, right? You're excited. I'm happy for you, but don't get overexcited. Don't be disappointed if we're gonna get thrashed 3 times. This could be one of the worst ISL season. Augusto, it will be the worst ISL season. If you're expecting quality, if you're expecting quality on the pitch, if you're expecting quality off the pitch, if you're expecting quality in the broadcast, if you're expecting any quality, then don't do it, right? So the league is happening for the sake of happening because the AFF and to some extent the sports ministry wants it. Nothing more, nothing less. And some of the clubs just want to stay alive, hoping that something will happen in the summer. And if this is the way that they're running, then in the summer we will have a lot of teams saying, "Thank you, bye bye, we're gone." The AFF's biggest danger is that they might have a commitment for the next few months, but is anyone going to sign on that dotted line for the 20-year contract? I have huge doubts. I understand about Jamshedpur because if they don't play this season, the Tatas would have pulled out of football. Yeah, Shivam, that's the thing. And again, they have the infrastructure available. But again, on the Tata side, I don't understand that the Tatas are saying, you can play, you should play, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Where I would have told the Tata said, at the moment it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So that's the thing. I don't understand why foreign players are considering playing in Indonesian. I think they only got offers from Indonesian clubs. There will be some other clubs from other countries also. Maybe the manufacturers also a thing, but still Indonesian clubs have more funding than Indian clubs. They can find any player than better player than when these ISL players. Kuku, I don't know why so many guys have decided to go there, or that the Indonesian clubs thought about signing these guys again. The quality of foreigners in the Indian leagues was not bad, right? If you look at the foreigners, and, so therefore for me, yeah, it is sad to see them leave, but again, for them it's a career, it's an option, and they're considering that Indonesia makes more sense for them than staying in India and hoping that something happens. Right, more than 24 minutes. Quick reminder: like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube and be part of the family. 3 likes only so far, guys. I think we can do better, and we stand at 3,709 subscriptions. Thank you very much, all of you. Slowly inching towards the 4,000 mark. And besides the Indian football, I've started to do some stuff on European football. Did something today on the incredible Bayern Munich under Vincent Company. So do watch that. And also, did something a couple of days back on Xabi Alonso's firing at Real Madrid. But also in between all the stuff on Indian football, do watch the short videos, like the videos, hype the videos, and of course, support it. And thanks a lot as always. Ranjit Bajaj said that they're not going to play in I-League because of participation fees and no subsidy. Lucifer, they're not part of the I-League. Lucifer is not part of the I-League. They've been relegated. So he wants to be part of conversation that he's not. Don't give him space. Even I tell you, don't give him space. Just don't listen. Don't watch. Don't watch what comes out. Right? Delete the followings. Because you guys are giving this guy oxygen. Don't give him oxygen. Having Amalia very, very good. Hope our team learns a lot and get much better prepared for matches during countries. Very good work. AIFF deserves appreciation. Shanlata, again, yeah. If again, it's no point trying to explain what the situation is. Indonesian second and third tier are the most dangerous leagues in the world. They literally do live taking tackles each and every match, literally. Okay, Shivam. Let's go. Let's don't. Rakesh. Hi, Anurag. It'll definitely be the lowest quarter of league football for sure. How do you see us going forward? Can we expect a better and well planned league in the near future? No. As long as these people are there, no. We need a change in the AFF. So for me, so therefore for me, as long as there's no new AFF, these guys, again, also the plans that they have, it sounds nice on paper. But where in the reality will this work if there is no third party money? My simple question to the AFF is, and people are telling me, oh, there is money here, there is money there, the AFF of this, the AFF of that, this and that. All of that doesn't exist, you know? And so therefore, yeah, I'm very worried. I'm very worried about the future because if things don't get sorted, again, all the clubs have said okay for now, but then in the summer we'll have teams shutting down. We've just artificially kept the system alive for another 3 months, 4 months. Not disappointed really. We are trashed watching in 4 from 20 all already have habit of disappointment. Will accept even worse disaster, but still, as Indian football fan, excited. Shanlata, be excited, but again, if you're expecting something, then again, you can hope. If you're expecting anything, you've already lost. Delhi FC has already got relegated, and there is no point of saying we will not play. Exactly, Goku. To me, again, we are giving oxygen to the gentleman and his entities. Just let's unfollow him and don't see what he says. That is the best thing you can do. Boycott. I've heard people boycotting Indian football. No, boycott him. Simple. Why I said clubs can't file case against scooters? File case about what, Rakesh? That would be my question. You could most probably. The only way the league gets better is with a good partner like FSL with AFF. It will be a mess. 100%. Augusto, we are. My concern is also you are saying that you're going to spend 24 plus crores on the league. Okay, fine. Understood. Can you do that? There will be additional costs here and there. Do you have, let's say, a contingency budget of 2-3 crores to work things out? No, you don't. You have. So you have, you know, um, that's the point, right? So therefore, for me, a lot of these questions are there and none of them are being answered. So you should play Vietnam UAE match in background. So I'm focusing on this, and thanks for the tip. I mean, their clubs have more money. They can get any other player than ISL players. Goku, they could, but again, I'm telling you, the ISL foreigners are not that bad. They are actually decent, even, the same exodus which occurred around 2021 from the A League to ISL is now happening to ISL to the ISL Indonesia. Moneyball, a big factor, I believe. Simon, it's not money. It's also surety. If the money was the same, people would stay in the ISL, right? But the Indian ISL at the moment, there is what can we tell the people to say? Stay in India, play in India. We don't have anything, right? Isn't Delhi FC relegated? What are they talking about? Yes, Bobul's animation, exactly. Again, trying to be part of the conversation. That is my whole point, right? So yeah, these teams are so far ahead of us that we can never catch them, says Utsav. Does Indian men's national team have any good tournaments this year? Lucifer, they're playing the AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round, final qualify against Hong Kong in March. And supposedly in the summer, we've got the SAF championship. Any chance FSL can file against Scooter misleading code? Rakesh, they could, but they've never done it, right? So I don't know. I had respect for Ranjit till he started to sell his own PR and propaganda that he started harming in football. Simon, he's been harming football, Indian football for years. Again, therefore, That you had respect for him is already first mistake. But now, sir, any news on the salary updates? Are players really taking a pay cut or teams will shut shop soon? Anurag, players in a lot of teams have taken pay cuts. So that is yes, has happened. Um, has it happened to the level that was needed? We will have to find out. Um, and um, and we will have to wait and see what happens. To me, the challenge at this moment sounds to be, um, what do you do going forward? You know, and the point at the moment is, how are we going to sort all of this at the moment? Um, and is there a recalibration of salaries of the players? So there are a lot of ifs and buts and a lot of questions left and right that need to be answered. Um, yeah, and that will be very interesting to see what happens to all of those things. Why haven't FIFA done anything like not able to do a successful league should trigger them, right? No, Lucifer, it doesn't, because de facto it's with the country. They've been, of course, following, monitoring AFC even more. But again, it's not a reason to act and remove the AFF. Here, things always go along the way. No planning, no sustainability, nothing. Why we live and breathe mediocrity and negligence is simply beyond me. Yeah, Simon, that's a very, very good, very valid point. And one needs to look at it and think about it. But yeah, but the point is for me, um, how, why, when, where, could that be done? Karavasi considering Calicut instead of Kochi. Yes, Babalu's animation seems like the Kochi stadium is in a bigger mess than we thought. So that's why the Blasters are actually considering for the first time playing in Calicut. But the Calicut ground, if you had seen, there was something a couple of weeks back, which showcased that some dirt track racing with things, mud and all put onto the ground, and then the grass was gone. I don't know if that can be rectified, repaired, and then we'll have to wait and see if that works. Otherwise, again, the problem of the whole scheduling of the ISL is that a lot of teams are scrambling to find a home venue, right? And again, today is the 16th of January. I don't know how we're going to start the league by the 14th of Feb. If you would ask me, and if I'm looking forward and how these things will go forward, normally you would have to say, you know what, guys, uh, um, maybe you have to push it to 1st of March. I don't know. So let's wait and see. Now, if F is doing the league with 24 crore next year, the league cost might go to 30 crore. How will they manage it every year? Augusto, if you're doing a short-term league on 24 crores, right? Um, if you're going to run the whole season properly, your costs are not 30 crores. The costs go higher, right? If half league costs you 24 crores, a full league costs you what, 50, right? Just so from that perspective, um, the numbers don't add up. So therefore, you know, very difficult, in my opinion, very, very difficult where we stand, where we are at this moment in time. Um, Without a third party commercial partner, this is not possible, right? So therefore, yeah, it's going to be interesting, um, if we can really get to what we need to. Um, and this is, yeah, it's I don't know where we're gonna how they're gonna get there. India Hassan has been placed in last team in AFC pot 3. Yes, Shivam. Current ISS season will happen till I have doubt on AFF. Rakesh, I've never changed my opinion. 1% chance. Yeah. People will tell me, oh, it's much higher, this, that, everything. To me, it hasn't changed. The person with the bike race in Calicut told that he will successfully finish the repair next 2 weeks. Lucifer, didn't they say that Reporter TV is repairing the Kochi stadiums in 2 weeks or something? Um, this 2 weeks things of repairing is said a lot, I think, in Kerala at the moment. So East Bengal anomaly had all that legal expensive battle just to get salary reduced. Babalu's animation. If I am right, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan are the two teams who are not reducing salaries. If I am right, so maybe not. Maybe that has not affected Anwar at all. Maybe I'm again, as I say, I might be totally wrong. But to me, that is something that had come to my notice. Numan says broadcast. Numan broadcast partner. Where? Which broadcast partner? Numan, the broadcasting. Tender earliest will go out on Monday. And what are you going to tender? How many venues? There's that. You don't have the numbers, right? The AIFF and the club still are working on it. Looks like team will only have a short preseason. Yeah, of course. Bubbles. If some of the teams have started in the last 2 3 days training, those who are mainly built on Indian players, and let's wait see what happens. If somehow a league happens this season, okay, and then how we'll get money for their daily chores and things. Hannibal, that's the question. That's you are asking you're asking the question that is right, and to me the question is even with the monies that are being discussed, is it realistic? Sorry, is it realistic to achieve those things? Are we in a position to achieve those things? Right? To me, if you ask me, the AFF should honestly go to the minister and say, sir, let's postpone the whole thing by 2 weeks. Let's start on the 1st of March and we keep a window till the end of May. That would be the best thing to do. You gain 2 weeks. Because if you're not ready by the 15th of Jan, which was yesterday or day before, everyone's scrambling regarding grounds. That's the problem, right? So I would then also say, listen, your idea of doing, hey, I only do Thursday once, Friday, Saturday, Sunday doubleheader. No, play also on the Tuesdays and Wednesdays, right? You have to be smart. You have to be flexible. Which all teams started training? Lucifer, from the ones I know Mohun Bagan, I know East Bengal, Punjab FC, I've seen Bangalore FC, I've seen Mumbai City, I've seen uh, those are the ones I've seen. The others, you know. Today I was watching a seven-a-side football match near Vizinjam, Kerala. There was a foreigner there who, judging by his appearance, was perhaps Scottish or English. I believe he's a football enthusiast, but after 10 minutes, he left the game seemingly because he could not tolerate the poor quality of football they were playing. Oops. Yeah, yeah. Gugu, again, it might go the other way around. How will league happen next and claim AFC spot? Numan, we discussed, um, the whole point um, of AFC spot. We discussed it at length yesterday, where I clearly said, guys, let's not go down that rabbit hole of having to talk about the AFC spot, right? The champions will get it, meaning qualifiers for the champion and for the team who won the Super Cup, which means FC Goa. Now, if FC Goa, Mohun Bagan finish top or top two, um, then then what happens? The team which finishes third goes to the AFC Champions League 2 qualifiers. But nobody cares about it at the moment. At the moment, we're talking about, let's see what happens. Production, bad quality production equal to no good broadcaster, equal no money, equal to Garibi. Mm. However, um, yes, for this season, but the reality at the moment would also be is good broadcaster equal to no money, equal to do you have to pay for it, right? So to me, is this whole thing is, yeah, what to say. Arunava, have you read Kelna report on the I League pros? FF? No, Kumar, I have not read their report. FF planning to close I League clubs, bring ISA clubs, bring I Leagues. Okay, interesting. Rakesh, from where that comes from. I saw a well respected commentator saying we don't need a good production quality, bro, then how will AFF earn money? Hannibal, earning money at the moment is secondary, or not the priority of things. If we want to be honest, at this moment in time, it is about the whole thing somehow surviving. Right, that would be my only point. If you ask me, the only point of importance at this moment in time, as I speak to you, is the need of our football system somehow surviving this phase that we are in at the moment is about just survival. We are in such a bad state. If I'm being honest, we are such a bad state that somehow getting through this and surviving is already a success. That is how bad the situation is today at this moment in time. To organize a Chinese tournament for national team. Hannibal, depends on where you are organizing it. What are your costs? Again, um I wouldn't have, at the back of my head, I wouldn't have numbers for you as that. The more the league gets delayed, the more it will have to get the broadcaster on board. Augusto, the broadcaster to get on board, which broadcaster will want you? We're talking about Star, we're talking about Sony, we're talking Eurosport India, and we're talking about DD, I guess, right? Eurosport India is someone. Right. So therefore, for me, it makes no sense. And so therefore, the question is, the minister was talking about DD Sports. So outside of DD Sports, I don't see a broadcaster at the moment, if you ask me. SAF this year will happen in Bangladesh. Will India travel there? So, Rabba, that's India's problem. No? That is going to be a question for India to answer. But it's football, it's not cricket, right? So we'll have to wait and see. Will I League happen with even low budget than last year? Then who will watch? No one. I don't know who will watch. I don't even know if the clubs will agree to pay even 5 rupees to the AIFF. The funny part with the I League clubs is, right, again, they will not like it when I say it this way. You guys have been living off money because you've been getting subsidies here, there, and everywhere of money that the AIFF was receiving from other sources. So that's the problem. They have never interested in ASL clubs. They have clear plan for I League, nothing for I League clubs, sir. Where do you have a plan for I League? The AFF have no plan for club football. Eden was talking rather than this today. Yeah, Bangladesh supposedly is supposed to host the SAF Championship this year. I've said this last year already that for in India's interest, most probably the best thing is to try and shift it to Sri Lanka or somewhere or Maldives. Right? So that's the problem. Let's see if the AFF can even manage and maneuver through the set deadlines, 14th past, soon to be 19th. It's all looking bleak. Yeah, Simon, how many deadlines have we missed in the last few months? That this will happen on this day, that will happen on that day, this will happen here, this will happen there. All of the things were missed, right? So we are in a very difficult scenario. When there any broadcaster will pay money for broadcasting, I said, no, of course not, Haniba. Why? No. Yeah. The live stream quality of the Pakistan vs Cambodia match in 20 was super. They looked like something from the 80s or 90s. In fact, if you consider quality of American television in the 60s, probably on par of that. I'm afraid that something will happen in the ISL. Let's see, Coco. No idea. What's the first homework the fans should do according to you? Inform yourself in the right sources. Be honest. You know? Um, yeah, that would be my thing. Be clear who are your sources, where you're getting your inputs from, where understand, try to understand things. That would be my first thing to say. I'm talking about long-term thing. This season, AFF will not make a single penny, but what about futures? Only way for AFF to earn was I said money, now it's gone. Hannibal, the point is, would you just, again, and you have a very, very valid question in there, would anyone actually come forward and say, you know what, I'm going to put in money into the system, right? And so therefore, for me, yeah, you know, it's it's very complex. Let's put it this way, put it nicely, very, very complex. Because there's a huge conflict happening between India and Bangladesh after India banned a Bangladeshi cricketer in IPL due to pressure from BJP. Listen, Zoravar, why did it happen? It's a Bangladeshi player for a Kolkata club owned by Shah Rukh Khan. That's the whole reason, right? I mean, uh, Ambani owned Mumbai. What was sorry, MI Emirates has a Bangladeshi player playing for them, right? It was so. There are, again, you know, and I know how this sadly operates. And again, my question to you is football important enough um, for it to be stopped? That would be my first question. And second question is, if India doesn't play, they will shift the game. It's like last year when they were talking about doing the SAF Nations Cup or CAF Nations League, right? They wanted to do a SAF Nations League, and then the question was, India, Pakistan can't play. Again, India, Pakistan need to play, but where do they play? So therefore, that's the situation. So therefore, we'll have to wait and see what happens. A SAF tournament without India is not going to happen. Real Kashmir, any revenue from web series? Oh, no, man. It's a good question. I think they will have gotten something out of it, I would think, but I wouldn't be sure. If I clubs never invest money on their clubs, why they are blaming ISA clubs are wrong, as I said, would change total Indian football. Rakesh, the problem is that, that people think that the I League is the sort of OG league of India, this and that and everything. And I realize that a lot of people who've been following football for a few years or even longer don't know what the realities are. So therefore, for me, it makes, again, the I League clubs have their status. The I League clubs have their right to existence, but the I League clubs to me don't have the right to be shouting out things. And then, and again, but it has been amplified because, that people like the owner of Gokulam, of Srinidhi, Ranjit has been one of them. All these guys have been shouting out this, that, everything. And again, has it brought anything? No, that's not, right? The problems of Indian football, you are part of it. Like last year, you guys were desperate. You guys paid money for the I League to be broadcast on Sony, who did not bother at all. There was no promo, right? When I was in India, nobody cared. The situation is like an 8-year-old child getting abandoned in middle of Sahara Desert and sports ministry, unlike camels in middle of desert who cannot understand or help the kid. Hannibal, it's an interesting comparison that you're making. I would have made a different one. I would have said that if you want to keep your camel in the mix of the conversation, I would have said that the problem in this approach is that if the child has been left in the middle of the desert, yes, maybe the camel is trying to pick it up, but the problem is the camel doesn't know how to get the kid on its back, right? To make it a little more complex, and we're fighting on that. The sports ministry doesn't know what advice it's giving on football matters. We are stuck at that level, and that is creating all the problems that we're facing at this moment in time. And it's shocking to see how things have sort of evolved and where we stand at this moment in time as I speak to you. But it is insane to think that where we have reached today at this stage, with all the problems, all the issues, where we could have, should have been, and where we are. And yeah, very, very problematic. They're making a big deal out of Pakistan situation. Should I do? They're not Iran or Pakistan. Hannibal, it is because in some way I think it is, but again, yeah, it is its own set of problem. And Zoravar answering you says it shows how pathetic it has been in terms of diplomacy in last decades. Yeah. How do you see the problems at the moment as a whole? A spider web, clear and specific, or a patchwork, unclear and unspecified, or a mix of both? A spider web, if you want to have a spider web, then you would have at least, a Peter Parker at least, and some sort of system. My problem in this, it's not even it's today I'm fighting to save this, tomorrow I'm fighting to save that. In between, I do something in regard to the women's game. Nobody Nobody seems to have known that something was happening in regard to trying to sign a foreign coach. I mean, it cannot be that Crispin Chetri finds out via the media and social media that actually the AIFF is talking to someone to bring in someone, and then Marcus breaks the news. It cannot be, right? And it has caused problems in the women's team, from what I've heard. So therefore, that's another one, and then we'll have to wait and see. So therefore, for me, it is utter chaos. It's a free for all, and the problem is that the mistake that I feel the clubs did, and I've said this multiple times, Channel, you need to put pressure on the AIFF. Why have they done what they've done in the I League? Right? They've done it in the I League because some of the guys in the I League over the years have put pressure on the AIFF to do XYZ things. Very simple. Right? So therefore, that's something which is there, and we'll have to wait and see. The ISL was once a cash cow, but now that the funding has dried up, the AIFF feels compelled to keep it alive by any means necessary. No, it doesn't. Goku, that's the point. If the ISL, if all the ISL clubs tomorrow said, you know what, no, we don't want to play, they, they'll throw them out and then they'll say, okay, the I League is the top tier. They don't care because these guys cannot monetize a product. They talk about monetizing the product, you know, you know. So that's the thing, you know. We are entirely isolated in the South Asian region. Yeah, we're not isolated in the South Asian region. We're isolated in the world. India's reputation has gone to the dogs in the last few years. Not entirely about dogs. It's more like Indian media has been acting like. No, it's not. I don't know, Hannibal, where you're taking that. The media is an own problem, but India has always been a problem without realizing it. And but the diplomacy is a disaster. Real Kashmir didn't even charge ticket money ever and still play in I League, where they any club didn't make a penny. No wonder a lot of teams don't make money, right? They have donations and people putting in money. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. There was no official relationship breaking statement or move by the Minister of External Affairs. So that's your logic of why we don't have good. I don't know what the Hannibal. Sorry. And Zorawar adds you're in complete lala if you believe the current regime is in the current India situation. Of course they are. And Ranji Bajaj's rattlesnake in the desert. It could be. Or do they? These lot are trying everything they can to hold power by going broke, if that makes any sense. Simon, it makes, then I feel, and I've said this today to someone, my feeling is, I might be wrong. I might be totally wrong. I'm totally off. My feeling is that the current AFF is going to leave a completely broken house behind, right? A completely broken house. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see how you we can all get out of it and maneuver out of that situation. And that's going to be the question. Are they really trying to leave a completely broken AFF behind to whoever comes next, whenever that comes? You know? You know? So that's the thing. Nearly 53 minutes. Once more reminder, like, share, and subscribe. And 12 likes so far, guys. Thanks a lot. We can do better in that. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. We're at 3,710. So thank you for the new person who's joined our discussion today. And of course, look at the short videos. As I've said in the last few days, I will be shifting a little away from just Indian football. We'll make a little bit more about European football. Did something a couple of days back on Xabi Alonso's firing where Real Madrid. Did something today on Bayern Munich. Watch it. I put my heart and soul into this. Do watch the short videos. Again, have my short little series, the Arunfoot Take On, where I spoke about yesterday about the governance of the ISL, and so do watch it. And thanks as always for your support. And well, like everything, Lala, I believe India is social chest thumping regarding it globally. Says Ravar, the selection should have been conducted in Bangladesh. They would have gotten a new selected government, but nothing is happening. Hannibal, what is the situation in Bangladesh to do with our situation? Right? The situation in Bangladesh doesn't. And again, sports is something which you should, uh, the point is at the end of the day, um, we have not worked to improve the relationships with our neighbors. That's, I think, the biggest problem. And that is something which if we don't realize that, we're gonna get nowhere, right? And that is, yeah, sad reality of things. People don't realize Bangladesh Army has a good relationship with the Indian Army. Hannibal, it has no value if things are going the way they're going. But this time around, we would have been talking about who is going to win the ISL, but all we're talking now is when the league starts. Such a mess. Yeah, Gusto. Yeah. Uh, um, the problem is, forget. Even if we don't talk about who is going to win the ISL, but at least talk about who should be in the playoffs, right? Transfers. We would have talked about transfers. I mean, I've had people ask me about transfers. Guys, I don't care about it. So for me, um, players coming, going, leaving. It's very interesting that so far, at least, I have not heard about XYZ player going from A to B, right? Even though there were supposedly conversations about players leaving and going, um, but there's been no Indian player moving from A to B. And it's interesting also, um, for example, Mumbai City started training, and yesterday we saw uh, Jorge Pereira Diaz with the team, and today Jorge Ortiz. So at least those two guys at this moment in time are still with Mumbai City, despite Jorge Pereira Diaz having a very, very good offer from East Bengal on the table. So interesting. So therefore, it's an interesting scenario, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in the coming days and weeks. Again, that the league, whatever league is happening, is going to be a mess. I think is clear to me. The question is, what kind of a league will we get in the end of the day? Existing existing to CSC Delhi. Okay, no man. Let's see. Yeah, Sporting Club Delhi is out there. Let's see what they can do. Our country cannot progress until certain problems have not been solved. Yeah, Goku, but there are too many problems to, in that way. Have you experienced similar multi-layered problems like this before? I mean, are we always first in terms of creating unique situations which are bewildering? Yes, Simon. That you have problems at the top, you have a rebel league and all that kind of stuff. It's happened in other parts of the world, or there are problems with federations. Look at what happened, African Cup of Nations. Listen to what has happened. Gabon, the government gets rid of the national team, and Aubameyang is banned and whatever, blah blah, and then is allowed back. Now, what I've heard now, Cameroon is banned. Samuel Eto'o for I don't even know for what. All these kind of things happen, right? But this structural failure of Indian football at multiple levels. This is something very, very unique, I think, that we are able to create, right? If we had learned anything from 2022, we wouldn't be in this situation. And again, I can say, I'm the only one here. I can tell Ranjit Bajaj, I can tell the COA, guys, I told you what will happen, you know? So that's the reality. I definitely don't think we have wish for Guru. What Simon says, Hannibal, they might end up burning their leftover finances, hiring another astrologer as their last resource of survival. Yeah, maybe an astrologer, maybe some guru who says, listen, I will make you money. Like, no? It's like that guy which country was it that said, listen, I promise you, I will tell you who's going to win the African Cup of Nations. Some healer, I think, was it, no? And, and he has to now had to be arrested because it's siphoned off so much money of people and the team that I don't even remember which country. Same as African Cup of Nations is really, these kind of things are really hilarious, and it's a very, very, very difficult scenario. But what the AIFF is doing, Simon, as you say, last resort for survivor. Yeah, it is. It's insane. It is just insane. Hannibal, the amount of viruses I see on social media, if you saw those, you will feel ashamed to even call yourself Indian. So, Ravar, this is something which I will tell you, which is very interesting. There is I think I read so much nowadays that I forget what I read when, where. I read something here in Germany, in German, that it says, that 3% on social media are posts and stuff, which is while, this and that and everything. So the social media aspect of it, what it is, I always say, be careful. Forget what you hear on social media. Because if you think on social media, you would think, oh, Indian football is something. Because there are a lot of people actually talking on social media about Indian football. There are a lot of people talking about East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, or Kerala Blasters, this and that, everything, right? When it comes to reality, then you see the numbers are much, much smaller. So therefore, I don't take it seriously. Things are happening in reality. So forget what people are saying on social media. In reality, it is a problem. Indians used to be respected, at least as long as I've seen it. And now the problem is, yeah, you have problems around the world. I also understand the current MMA regime promised upgradation of foreign policy and system, but it wasn't delivered. Yeah. Didn't Bajaj say give 200 crore, I will give you Messi on mainstream media when Messi visited? 150, forget 200. 150 Zoravar. That was the money that supposedly was spent on the Messi tour. Much more went into it. And Zoravar, what happened is very, very simply, is um, yeah, and I've jokingly said he spent more than 15 crores already. So where is the one Messi, right? If he's saying that he can create 10 for 150, Ranjit has spent more than 15 crores. Where's the one Messi then? Manisha Kalyan's new club seems to have a very large number of fans for their women's team, and their fans are also present on social media in large numbers. Hannibal, and that's my point. Again, how do you know that they have many fans if you're just following their social medias? Social media is not reality. Let's see how many people turn up when Alianza Lima actually factory play, right? Hey, comical Lama, welcome back. AFCON fun to watch. The country we thought they are poor had better stable infrastructure development than us. No, Arvind. Goku, if you look at Morocco, we're talking now about Morocco. Morocco is much more developed than India. Sorry. If I like it, you like it, we like it not. Morocco is more developed than India. So these are some of the realities of things where we are, and things need to change, and things need to change drastically. But again, how, when, where will it change? Right. So that's the whole point. But um, you know, social media houses brain rot people, and after all, it's a calculated way to exploit fragile minds, the dark side of every platform out there. Simon, that's been the problem over the last 2 3 years. Uh, so so uh, so therefore, that's the reality. So to me, the misuse of social media again. If you want, so I was talking to someone yesterday about it at length, about the situation of social media and other things and this and that and everything. And explain them, right? If you want good, honest conversations on football or Indian football, right? We're 11 people at the moment. We should be hundreds, thousands of people discussing what we're discussing, right? So many pictures of Valencia Lima Stadium is jam-packed. Yeah, Zoravar, again, let's wait and see. Morocco is more Spain than Spain themselves, says Simon. And Zoravar adds, forget Morocco, even African countries like Ethiopia and Somalia is cleaner than India. I don't know if Somalia is cleaner than India with the war going on in Somalia, Ethiopia also. But again, there are countries, yes, in certain parts of Africa which are. And this is a big club in Pro. I hope the passion translates down to the women's team. Exactly, Simon. That's my whole point. I don't know if you've got footage from the women's team or is from the men's team. The men's team is big over there, but again, yeah, it is something. So it's good for her to go there, and let's see what Manisha can achieve in Peru for herself and for us, of course, who support Indian football. It's very important that she succeeds, and then she gets match exposure because he hasn't been playing much over the last 6 months. So that's also a fact. And then she's back for herself, for us, and for the Indian national team. I think that's very, very important not to forget, guys. Sorry. This is the problem when you do sports yourself a little. Um, Once more, like, share, subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com, and I'll be, of course, um, yeah, speaking about Indian football, but more about not only Indian football, but about European football as well, because it is something that I realize, um, for me, are when we talk about Indian football, and I realize that with myself as well, right? I was always hopeful. I was always like, okay, something. But again, I was critical about things because, again, I was doing the comparisons to stuff over here in Europe, in Germany, in other parts of the world. I've worked a lot in the Caribbean, having seen a lot of that. So, therefore, for me, all of that has been there. And for me, what Indian football has been over the last few years is, in COVID, I still had hope because I saw how the ISL was organized. It was good. It was very good, actually. I saw how the I League was organized. That was also good. I saw it with my own eyes. I was part of it, doing commentary towards the end of the I League bubble in 2022. Um, but but then all hell broke loose. And sorry, this was 21, and then 22, all hell broke loose. And yeah, one mess, the other mess, and I wouldn't have believed that in my worst dreams. I wouldn't have never thought that we would reach where we are today. Right? That is, to me, the biggest problem for Indian football is that things can go wrong. Things can go wildly wrong. But there have been things over the last 10, 20 years, right, without ISL, which have gone wrong. And the biggest problem has been that at youth and grassroots level, whatever people have been telling us, and there I include Ranjit Bajaj or those kind of people into the conversation, that you guys have not produced better quality players, right? So therefore, we are where we are. You know, and so so therefore, um, yeah, that's those are some of the analyses. You know, so realities. The biggest victim of the racism ideas at the end saw a heartbreaking video of an Insta where a girl was crying, asking why her skin color isn't white, as she regularly racially attacked in school. So, Ravar, again, do you know if it's true or not? Again, some of these Indians have brought it on themselves because they don't know how to behave themselves and they have civic sense which is non-existent, right? I have called out people. I am the president of the biggest Durga Puja in Europe. I have called out people because of that, right? So civic sense is a big problem. So therefore, some of these things, again, this girl most probably is a collateral. Listen, about dark-skinned people, about people from the northeast. You don't need to talk about Zorawar about going abroad. It happens in India, right? Why do we have all these fair and lovely, creams and all that stuff? Marco from Boston called Hakim Ziyech a stupid boy because he chose to play for Morocco instead of Netherlands. What do you think? Why Anwastan said that? Because I chose Netherlands or Morocco is worthless to play for them. I don't know, Goku, in what context Marco van Basten said that, so therefore it's difficult for me to just comment on it. There will be people, if someone chooses for X country, then and someone is from Y country, they'll say, why are you not choosing us? Again, Mesut Özil got a lot of hate in Turkey for deciding to play for Germany. Vice versa, there are other Turkish origin players who've decided to play for Turkey, not for Germany. The same thing was said. So this is, yeah, let's see. Don't get me wrong on cleanliness. We possibly are the only country which connects big high rises with slums and poorly laid roads at the same time. Civic sense to bhul ji jao. I mean, this is very interesting, right? I always say when I was there in Mumbai city, we were staying at the time it was called Palladium Mall, Worli. Next to it is a slum, right? And the contrast, if you're thinking you are on top of the building on the 30th floor, sitting there in the lounge, and then people a few meters below on the next plot have limited to nothing. So therefore, for me, yeah, it's very difficult to get the right thing out of it. No? So therefore, for me, if you ask me, um, very India's a long way to go. India's a very long way to go. The GFL is from Mecca. Okay, girl is from Mecca. Okay. India produced good goalkeepers. Yeah, no, we've produced a few decent ones. Akim was born in the Netherlands. I think that's why he said. Again, Guku, again, you are picking out a statement. You have to give the whole context of a statement. Why did he make that statement? Where did he make a statement? How did he make that statement? You know, you know, kids are getting attacked by these racists. That's what is said. Imagine the mental trauma. So, no, Zawar, you have to be strong in these positions. No, why? And potentially her own lot is abusing someone else back in India. So therefore, again, there is a chain, sadly. And the world is the way it is, right? I felt we were moving together a decade back, and now with COVID, with wars and this and that and everything, we are in a mess, and things are not moving in the right direction. That's the reality of things. No? That's the reality of the world. That's the reality of where we are in the year 2025, 26, and things have gotten worse. It is sad. It is sad, but these things are realities to you, to me, to us, and it shouldn't happen, but it happens, and that is those things are the disturbing things, right? That if you wanna talk about it, that's the so for me, That's the thing. And it is the question is how can it get best better? Regardless, the one thing I find interesting is the amount of similarities both football and the problems of the country as a whole are almost like a mirror image. Simon, yes. In a lot of countries, football, the strengths and the weaknesses of football showcase where a country stands, right? If, let's say, Europe, multiculturalism through sports, especially through football, is a very strong aspect compared to it not being there in other parts of the world. So, therefore, this is something which is very difficult, but it is. And to me, the problems, the issues are there. So that's it. Sir, I love your passion. Thanks, Comical Lama. It is part of me, right? It was part of me. It is part of me. It will be part of me. And again, I love to talk about football, Indian football. I love to talk about the things. And yeah, so let's wait and see where it goes. I see Indian football mirroring India's country. Yeah, Zorawar, sadly it is. Because if you see the political class which could impact Indian football in a positive way, in a good way, but how they're impacting it in a bad way, that sums up the situation. That is where we are, sadly, in the year 2026. State of Indian football, same as the country. And that's the problem, Zorawar. That is where we are stuck today. And hopefully things will get better one day and we'll talk about other things, but it's very, very difficult. Yeah. And that is to me a huge challenge, right? A huge challenge. Um, if it's gonna work and or not. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's very sad. It's very sad that where we are and where we're stuck. And I hope we get out of this. Otherwise, it will uh yeah, it will. I don't know where it'll go. Only if AIFF had passion like you, India would have qualified for women's FIFA World Cup. So Ravel, I don't know if women's or men's, it doesn't matter. Thanks again. For me, um, passion is the basis, right? For all of this that we talk about, passion is basis of everything built around it. But passion is something which you need to have, right? But you know what? But is to me, which is as important or even more important than passion is knowledge. Right. For me, the most important thing is that what I realize day in, day out, talking to so many people in Indian football. And for me, if talking Indian football is actually the fun part, right? Um, that lack of knowledge is our biggest problem. And there are a lot of people who think they know and understand and don't have a clue. That is what is harming, damaging Indian football day in, day out, right? If you ask me that way. And that's the reality where we are, right? And that's I don't know if we can get out of that sort of window and improve ourselves, right? It is common sense. If you cheat in an election, you cannot expect that candidate to actually serve your interests as a minister in the future. Yeah, go. Gute Nacht, good night, Zorawa. Catch you again. It's tough being a fan of a sport which people ignore. I was a big hockey fan during 2010s, and I remember sitting in bars alone, watching hockey alone. It was so much fun, and I want to share a story. Please do. Go ahead. Share a story, Comical Lama. And you know what? Hockey is a good example. Hockey, to me, in large parts of the world, is a sport which gets followed every 4 years, right? Whenever the Olympics are around the corner, hockey gets its 5 minutes of uh, um, you know, it's 5 minutes of fame, importance in the global sporting context. But yeah, if you see Hockey India League and this and that, and in Europe, it's an amateur sport, right? So this has to be factored in. Do you honestly think the overly big population we have is a blessing? It works wonders only if we are able to use it, which even after 75 plus years of independence, we haven't been able to achieve. Simon, that is such a complex question, you know. And if I look at from a sporting front, I would say no, we've not. Because if I look at sports and look that we need manpower and we need talent, this, that, everything. And none of that is actually utilized, right? We don't utilize the talent that we have at our disposal. That is my thought of our biggest problem. That if we utilize um, our talent, or use sports as something which where you push people towards being successful in sports, then I think then we could see something happen. My biggest problem has always been is that that India, for example, talking about 2036, all right, it is 10 years from now. The Olympics are 10 years away. But have you done what is needed to push the sport, or sports, not sport, sports, in the right direction? Is it part of school curriculums? Is it part of, you know, and whenever people think of taking up sports, they look at sports, say, okay, you know what, for me, it should be a profession. Doesn't work. Knowledge is power, says Goku. Yeah, 100%. 100% knowledge is power. But the point is that, more than knowledge, money is seen as power in an Indian context. So that to me is a big problem, big issue, where actually we're not utilizing what we have in a in the best possible way. We are not able to utilize our resources, and that is, yeah, it's tough, but those are some of the realities that we have at the moment. Any update on the AFC Cup of Nations, Lucifer? There is no AFC Cup of Nations. There will be, if it's going to be called AFC Nations League. And again, that has been proposed a few weeks ago, and there is nothing concrete on it at the moment. Do they really follow hockey during Olympics in Germany? Yes, Hannibal. It is one of those sports. It is, again, a sport like handball, basketball gets a lot of coverage. Think about it, that the NBA had its first ever game yesterday in Berlin, and the Orlando Magic came to Berlin, played in the Uber Arena with 13,000 plus people in it. Three German world champions in the Orlando Magic team. And it was, if you go through German media, social media, it was the biggest thing yesterday, right? So therefore, yes, but sports like hockey, volleyball, right? Athletics, swimming, all these sports have a niche life, and every 4 years they become sort of a little bit more important. I was an underdog. Was at Underdog's Bar in 2014. Guess who came? The whole team, from Sadar Singh to Rupinder and Srijesh, and some were having beers. Still got those photos. Nice, 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 comical Lama. Most of the hockey players around the world play hockey as a hobby. They don't even make a living from hockey, and it's also some same for most of sports. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the reality. Hannibal, that's the problem, no? Even in India, how many Olympians can sustain without a free government job given to them? Hannibal, yeah, but they're giving a free government job. And again, the point is, in other parts of the world, even that is an option. You have to have a normal job and then have to take time off uh, um, to be able to play your sport. Right? So this is the problem. What is more required in an administrative setup? Knowledge through bookish education, or the knowledge through experience, common sense, critical thinking, and practicality? B. For me, Simon, always B. Theoretical knowledge can never replace, practical knowledge, because practical knowledge will also help you in the implementation of things, you know. So knowing things by theory, lovely. Knowing things by heart, brilliant. But not knowing how to do things, then your knowledge, is very, very important. That is where the difficulty is. Oh wait, did I actually answer one question? Yes, Simon, you factually did, right? Because if you're giving me options, then it is. See, for an administrative setup, there are two, three things. To me, the AFF setup, if you ask me, forget AFF, but again, a sporting body setup to me, a good sporting body setup. I would always say, listen, you've got on one side, you have a president who you, where if you need, you can call on. Uh, and you have an administrative setup under the secretary, right, who ensures this, the administrative side of things, as you call it. And on the other side, you have a CEO, right, who then tries to build on things and work out things. I think that to me would be the perfect example of how we could sort of build and grow something. Because for me, the actual uh, 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 you know, for me, the problem is um, the right structure with the right people. At the moment, we don't have the right structure. We don't have the right people. Comical Nama says yes to Simon. So you've answered your own questions. This year, SAF will be held in Bangladesh. What do you think? India travel in Bangladesh? Ashraf, at the moment, it's happening there. But I've said this earlier today. It was asked that if India says no, then the SAF, management board will have to consider of hosting the tournament somewhere else, because I don't see them hosting it without India. Things want to be changed. I'm hopeful that the new generation will know the reality of this country and jointly uplift the country from sorts of problems. This will not happen in a few years. It will take decades to achieve, but the earlier you start, the earlier you can improve. Goku, I've become skeptical of something like this because I always thought like you on this front that, the next generation, I mean, I thought to be part of the generation where you can change things, and I've only seen things getting worse, right? And we've spoken today about, uh, uh, you know, um, about social media and its impact, and and you know so therefore, let's see what happens. Yeah. So which club is Aniket Bhati playing currently? I checked transfer market and other footballers often show Santa Fe U20, but he's currently age 22. Debojute, I have no clue where he's playing at the moment. Aniket. Aniket or Abneet? Am I not talking about something? Wait 1 second. Which player are we talking about? Actually, you're talking about the younger brother of Abneet Bharti. Okay. Sorry, now I get it. Younger brother of Avneet. He's somewhere in South America, like his brother. So I've seen the movie from Nepal called Captain. Is about a project who became a national football star, and finale was India's Nepal SAF Cup. India were the bad guys. Please watch when you're free. No, comical now. I've not seen it. Wasn't the SAF Cup was going to be out in Sri Lanka? What happened to them? Lack of stadium, monsoon season issue. Hannibal, not sure. Not sure what, why, when, where. Uh, Abneet. No, not Simon. Comical, not Abneet. This is the younger brother of Abneet, which is Aniket, his younger brother, who plays also somewhere in South America. So don't ask me where, but they place. He also plays, yeah, somewhere in that part of the world, and or has played. The population of next gen Indian is larger than the population of next gen who wants a civilized society. Maybe. And maybe people are happy with whenever, as long as money is coming in and they've got a decent life and they don't need to bother about things. Maybe that is what they want and what they need. But again, that's part of the problem of where we're stuck at the moment, right? So therefore, for me, that's again, and in football, fans have rightly asked the question is, hey, why haven't Indian footballers tried their luck abroad? Right? To me, it's a very valid question, that why has no Indian football actually tried to go outside and try and play somewhere? And at the end of the day, the answer is simple. Um, there are there is no one, no club who's wanting to take an Indian footballer. So you have to make the effort, and you have to climb down so much, which Baichung did, which Sunil did, which Gurpreet did. Um, that you have to go through very hard times. And again, in life in India is easy. Okay, you now have had a little bit for the first time, right? These players in 30, 40 years. Um, are facing a difficult time, right? And let's see if this time is over and things sort themselves out. But players are willing to take a pay cut. It's okay. Um, yeah. So therefore, for me, yeah, next gen, that's the challenge. Hey, Yuvraj, I'm doing fine. How are you? Hope you're good and ready for the weekend, guys. Again, normally I would say let's talk about the football matches coming up on the weekend, but again, hopefully in a month's time we can start talking about the Indian Super League matches, and hopefully the Indian Super League will happen at the time. So therefore, that is something that I think we all are waiting, hoping for it to happen. But will it happen? Um, you know, um, yeah, will be very very interesting to see. Um, let's see. Inter Kashi moving decent in the transfer market. Is it, Yuvraj? I honestly, I am not keeping at all track in regard to transfer market. I have no clue. I've just heard about that East Bengal rumor because someone said it over the last 2 days, few days ago, about Jorge Pereira Diaz and Diego Mauricio being linked with East Bengal, and I've now seen Jorge Pereira Diaz training with Mumbai City. Uh, you know, um, you know. So let's wait and see. But tell us what plans Inter Kashi, what players. If Chetri and Bachum were playing at the same time, what would have happened? Kamakilama, they did play, no? I mean, an aging Baichung and a young Sunil played 2007 Nehru Cup. I will always remember 2008 AFC Challenge Cup, 2009 Nehru Cup, Asian Cup, and all that stuff. So they had 4-5. Again, it was good, right? A team cannot be built on two players, and they're both attacking players. So you need players in other positions as well. What happened to FSL? If they're interested in 20-year plan, do they close or keep running? West off. Uh, uh, you know, at the moment, the plan which is there, they're not interested. So if you ask me, this current plan is totally unrealistic. And why would FSDL agree to it? They've left in for the moment Reliance, not FSDL, um, um, are out. The summary is Reliance Industries as a corporate, as a commercial partner of Indian football is out. Yes, you signed 3 foreigners as of now, one Indian too. Oh, nice. Was you're like Wikipedia, amazing listening to it. Thanks. I try to be, right. You know, I saw that movie. The movie work, CJ work is the most funny thing. Now I understand how Pakistan feel when they feature them as bad guys in our movie, Captain Nepali movie, says Coco. Okay. Liverpool lost Gay Glasner leaving Palace. Glasner blocked game, moved to Liverpool in summer. No doubt for Liverpool fans. He is the worst Austrian at a commanding position. Hope you get the joke, sir. It might be funny for you, but this is about commanding position and Austrians. You don't make jokes, Yuvraj. At least not for me. I'm German. I'm too German for that to be able to make jokes. So both Chetri and Bachu talented from within, or did they extensive work on their basics to stand out the most? They worked a lot. They were not natural talents. You know what I say about I'm Vision. Um, and again, both of them went, did it the hard way, right? Baichung went to Bury. Again, if he didn't get injured, I think Baichung would have made it, but who knows? And on the other side, Sunil went to America, went to Sporting Lisbon, and also got a reality check, and yeah, so so therefore for me, um, yeah, so therefore worked very hard to get there. City doing city things, yet the 112 charges still remain. 112? When did 115? No? Okay. I disagree. Bachung was natural talent. No, Lama, if you've seen Baichung, if you've seen an I Am Vision and see them how much they work and how they work, you would never say that Baichung compared to an I Am Vision is not a natural talent, right? Good evening, Blue. Welcome back to the channel. Where you when Lewandowski scored 5 goals in 9 minutes? Wolfsburg, 5 Lewandowski goals. I don't know. I think I was somewhere out, but I don't know. I was surely not in the Allianz Arena, but I don't know. The goal when he played in Bury, I've watched on YouTube. It was like Messi. Yeah, but Comical Lama, he scored one of that type of goals, and sadly, injuries in this. You know, so therefore, for me, yeah, apologies, sir, but it was a bit funny though. No, it's not. Again, for me, these are uh, um, you know. So yeah, I Am Vision was national. I Am Vision Goku is the best, at least I have seen, best Indian footballer that I have seen over the years. I at least have not seen anyone of that quality, of that class before or after. Vijubai was different. 115, I forgot actually. Yes, Simon. Let's say you describe Bachung, he was right footed. Messi, you never had right growth. Oh, no, no. Again, with recent Bajaj interview, now I'm okay with the relegation league owned by AIFF, low participation fee, only part is AIFF is pathetic in handling what you say. No. First of all, you're listening to Ranjit Bajaj, so that for me is a problem. But again, I've said this today earlier. If you guys listen to him and think he is who's got us into the problem, relegation makes no sense. That's one. League owned by the AFF is the most stupid thing. Anyone who says that does not understand football is actually stupid. Call people out who say AFF owns the league as a national federation. Call those people just stupid. Naturally stupid. Genetically stupid. Whatever is stupid, just stupid, right? And participation fee. Uh, uh, so it gets me just angry because it's just sheer stupidity listening to these people. Which Indian player will get more game time in new league, Standard Cup, anyone you watch us? No. I don't even know how the teams are going to set up, right? Because Super Cup people said, oh, young players are going to come through. And suddenly I saw the experienced guys playing. Take the Super Cup, right? So for me, um, I want those young players to show themselves, right? Right? Chante. Nama, Chante is already an established player. He's captain of Mumbai City, so he's going to play anyway. Yeah. I thought there's a possibility you were at the stadium. No, I don't. Against Wolfsburg, that match. Again, Munich is too far for me. If I go and watch matches, normally it's here around the corner in Leverkusen or Cologne. So I don't go that far. Delhi FC U18 lost 5-1 to Lucknow Falcons. Oops. ISL update. There is no update. There is no update on it. All the things that were supposed to have been released by yesterday, none of it has been done because the clubs have still not been able to confirm venues, stadiums. Seems to be a huge issue for a number of these entities, and therefore we're waiting for the clubs to confirm can they play in XYZ venue, and it's a problem for them at the moment. Let's call it out what it is. No broadcast. There's tender still not out. You know, and right, you guys said everything sorted, nothing sorted. It's exactly what I said last week. East or West, Bajaj's opinion. Yuvraj. Only reason I'm saying about Bajaj, sir, is running and the candidates have started trusting his views again, and that's your problem. If you're on this platform and you're saying you're trusting Ranjit Bajaj's views, you've got a problem with me because he has gotten us into this problem, into this mess, right? Recently, a waste dumping site in Lalur, Trishur was cleared of all trash and transferred to a football ground named the I Am Vision Sports Complex. Wow, nice, nice, good to hear. It just surprises to people like me to realize India has actually hosted FIFA U17 World Cup. We did, yeah, and we didn't host it because we were good. It was because FIFA wanted to grow football and wanted to get the market. So yeah. So for me, um, yeah, that's it. And we are, yeah, whatever we are, Lama. So I can explain the Kashi's proposal of playing all away games. Yuvraj, their logic is rather than us organizing it, and um, that they would most probably talk with the opponent team and say, can we organize it with you and this? And then let's see, you know, and that seems to be the problem. Most of the teams are facing problems in organizing home matches, you know. IPL update, as I said, there is no update. 14th of February, supposedly the league is to start. Today is the 16th of January, and nothing is organized, nothing is done. So I have reservations, as I've said, if the league is going to happen. Yeah. Which team want to play at home? Jamshedpur must be one. Who are the others? Um, Blue, from wanting to play at home and able to play at home is a difference, right? Mumbai City would like to play at home, but they can't play at home because it seems like the Mumbai football arena is a problem. Kerala Blasters don't know where to play because Kochi is a problem. They're looking at potentially at Calicut, but the Kozhikode ground, is also a problem. Chennai don't know if they can get the ground, you know, and then who else? Bangalore seem to have problem with the Kantirava. Interkashi says theoretically we can host in Kalyani, but if not, we can play away. East Bengal, Mohun Bagan saying Salt Lake Stadium. At Salt Lake Stadium, nobody knows what's the state. Mohammedan Sporting, Kishore Bharati, Northeast United saying Indira Gandhi Athletic Stadium. Jamshedpur, as I said. The SC Delhi and Punjab SC most probably would share the Nehru Stadium in Delhi. That's I think I've covered most of them, if not all. But there are a lot of questions. Mean you here, who's Kashi? Lama, Inter Kashi, the club who won the I League last season and who are the promoted team in the Indian Super League. Like Messi blessed Yamal U17 World Cup, Madam Mamta blessed Fortin, biggest key takeaway of U17 World Cup. Yuvraj, maybe you're making fun of Mamta Banerjee, but I raised in March 2017 the state of the Salt Lake Stadium with certain officials who were close to Mamta Banerjee and said, so for me, she acted right. If I'm not going to go into politics, I'm just looking at it from a football standpoint of view. Bengal did an excellent job in 2017 to make it whatever they did, and in 6 months they transformed the Salt Lake Stadium. Brilliant work. So therefore, some of the things. I said, yeah, maybe time for AI football president. Maybe, yeah, maybe put it into Grok or maybe put it into ChatGPT. For Sunil Chetri, for what Sunil Chetri? Not as I told, I don't know IPL. Why should I bother about IPL? Jashiv will be among top four if league happens. They have got amazing squad. Yuvraj. I don't even know who let's see what's the updated Jamshedpur FC squad. Good question. I've not, as I said, I think those who cover Indian football, no one has actually factually properly followed transfers this year, right? So let me see. 4th of October squad of Jamshedpur FC contains, let's see who it has. Albino Gomes, Lazar Sirkovic, Pratik Chaudhuri, Praful Kumar, Vinci Barreto, Rai Tachikawa, Manveer Singh, not the Monbang one, Mahdi Talal, yeah, Mohammed Sanan, Pranay Haldar as captain, Mobashir Rahman, Lal Riyad Puya, Ritvik Das, Sovik Das, Nikola Stojanovic, Karthik Chaudhuri, Sarthak Goloi, Germanpreet Singh, Rosenberg Gabriel, Ayush Jena, Amrit Gope, Rafael Messi Boli, Stephen Eze, Nikhil Barla, and Mark Zothan Puya. If this is their squad under Stephen Dias, yeah, they are. Yuvraj, I agree. They could be top four candidates. I mean, after all, Vision 2047 was made by a well-fed prompt through ChatGPT to make sense. Simon, it's really funny. Uh, uh, you know, um, and Blue as well, that this Vision 2047 actually was made by human beings. It was not prompts or whatever what you're saying. It was actually made by humans. As crazy as it might sound, but that's the reality of yeah of the Vision 2047. Not AI. No, no. Also will do. Let's see. If India win futsal, AIFF budget will increase. No, it's a cost. 2017, 20 Mamata are not recognizable for many. The less we say, the better. Yeah, maybe. But again, at that time, under 17 World Cup, think about it also. AIFF Center of Excellence, they got the land. Again, the AIFF has, especially the current AIFF, has made a mess of it, has not really developed it to the next stage. So, yeah, again, and that is something that certain states have actually helped football or sports over the years. Now we've spoken a lot about Naveen Patnaik and his support for Odisha and hockey, but also football over the last few years. Mizoram, of course, to speak about football. Currently, what Meghalaya under Conrad Sangma is doing, Arunachal Pradesh is doing, Nagaland is doing it, even Assam is doing football development. Uh, uh, you know, so therefore, yeah, it's a lot has happened. Indian officials are less real than AI. Delulu is insane. Yeah. Um, um, Blue, sometimes I feel I don't know where we are stuck. If I look at the people around, what they're doing, what they're not doing, what they should be doing, could be doing, I sometimes feel it's crazy. It is crazy to think that where Indian football is stuck, right? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. But this is where we are. This is where Indian football is. And let's see where it goes. The big El Clasico here of Mamta versus Modi would be the Copa de España all over again. Oh, I think that would be even more than the Copa España. Right. I can't differentiate between AI and human made stuff anymore. um, you know, um, the thing is, there is a lot of stuff nowadays where, yeah, we have to be honest, you will not be able to differentiate between. Even Premier Kim Jong Un would have resigned had he run the AIFF like Casey did. I don't think so. And you're calling him Premier, so again, you already stand on the wall, you'll be shot dead by Kim Jong Un. Yuvraj, don't call him Premier, he's president, right? So and again, yeah. But the point is, the AIFF is managed so badly. And what I've also understood is that with the Indian psyche, nobody actually stands up for the right thing. If there is no leadership, if one person would have stood up in the last 2 years in an AIFF meeting, would have questioned. And that is my question to Baichung Bhutia. You've said stuff in the media, but you've never stood up in a meeting of the AIFF. Others would have stood up as well. It just needs someone to be the leader and say, okay, this is the guy we're following. With current regime of AFF, probably I wish will change in next year elections. Our club and commercial partners will trust new plan and insight about some clubs of ours. Yeah, West of I have a lot of insights on the clubs, but next year election, the election is this year, supposedly it's September. And to me, there is no commercial partner. So let's not even get into that commercial partner discussion. That doesn't exist at the moment. Uh, 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 you know, so that's the point. And the clubs have their own problems. High time we get veto power in. Yeah, exactly, Simon. Again, the new, ISL governing council is a mess. That's why. All people are saying Casey should resign, but is there anybody who could do anything better? Yes, Saurabh. There's a lot of people who are better than him. I don't think there is that much of a problem of getting someone better. Only in an AI world, though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Hearing they're giving rights to I-League clubs in I-League, but diluted ones to clubs in ISL. Is it true, sir? Yes, you're right. Yeah, because the ISL clubs are too nice. The ISL clubs are too nice. In the I-League, I know that there are characters which they have fear, and therefore they're doing that, no, to avoid problems. And again, who cares what happens in the I-League, right? If the clubs, you know, are gone destroyed, I'm, after hearing you people, I'm actually contemplating making an LLM with all the Indian football data. Maybe it might come out with better solution. Worst case scenario, it will still hallucinate less than the current regime. Thinker, I don't think you need to put all data in there. I think if you put the right data, if you would know what the right data points and you would get a perfect example of what could should need to be done. I think an AI, if you feed it with the right data, will give you, if not a good but a decent thing to work on. But that's the problem where we are stuck at the moment. Uh, uh, you know, um, you know, that's the thing, right? What do you think of Ranjit Bajaj and his work in Indian football? Oh, Saurabh, what work? This service. No, we are in a mess. So therefore, no. If you're going to tell me that he's done good work for Indian football, thank you very much. No, better than Casey Ranjit, the goat, the legend, the trophy holder, the man, the myth, the legend, destroyer, the selfish, the sorry, can't use. Yeah, I mean, Yuvraj, again, that's the problem. No? Some of you guys still think that he's doing good work. You believe what is being put out there. Sorry, Ranjit, tell the people the truth. No? Why all these games? You are part of the people no? who think they know. You don't, right? That's the problem. Who's gonna tell the people the reality? No one is. That's the sad. We are in a state where we should be somewhere else. We could be somewhere else. We should be again, as I say, we should be somewhere else. But we are in this mess and we need to get out of it for once and for all. And I know a lot of people know, a lot of people know that they should not do what they're doing at the moment. But nobody is standing up and saying, guys, let's do something different. Uh, you know, so that's the point. To me, that's the point. There are a lot of good people in the system, but they need to stand up, and they're not. Ranjit Bhat's work for Indian football is so good that we beg him to stop, brother, stop working. Yeah, Yuvraj, you summed up what I think. Exactly, even think the same, but so many people here in India blindly appreciate budget. Yeah, because sort of they don't know, na. Listen, if you believe the stories that he puts out, it looks all nice and shiny. My simple question to me is, you said the other day, if you were given 150 crores, you would create 10 Messis, right? You spent more than 15 crores, so you should have created one Messi, right? Your teams have gone abroad, done this, done that. Where is your Asian level? Forget Messi level. Where's your Asian level footballer, right? So therefore, all of it doesn't work. So there is an academy, Alpha Sports, in our AFF sub junior league group. They are Patna based with a ground of their own and a very good social media team. I have not heard about them. Yuvraj, send me stuff about them on my X. No? You can send me a message on that. I will certainly check them out. There are a lot of these small ones no, who are doing stuff, but the question is again, yes, they've got infrastructure. I do have the so yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if the chat hearing this, Simon Yuvraj, whereas players playing Instagram. So, yeah, that's true. Right. It is a social media spiel that works, right? And again, and people believe it, and no hard questions asked, right? So that's the thing. Again, um, I do my things my way, as I tell you, right? With 1 hour 50 minutes nearly on the clock. I will always stand for what is right in Indian football. I will fight for what is right in Indian football. I will say again, sometimes, as I told you with certain things today, I can't tell you. I know certain things about how, for example, the women's national team coaches come about, but that is inside information. Um, know a few other things that are happening at the moment. So let's wait and see what happens because, again, a lot of people know better. And there is a compulsion sometimes I feel with certain people to say, okay, you know what, we don't want to do this way, we want to do this way, we're going to do certain things in a way, and it's not really helping us. And that is my fear at the moment. You know, uh, so therefore, yeah, that's the problem. And Yuvraj, I've just seen your message. I'm not going to read it out. Just going to laugh a little about it. But that's the problem that we have, right? The AIFF is a mess. The AIFF thinks that they're doing things right. They're selling you, hey, right? But at the moment, if you and I are honest about the situation, things are really really bad, and I don't know how they can improve. Um, and then we'll have to see. What is going to happen, and it's um, yeah, it's going to be interesting, and seeing it. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how we're going to do this. But it's a very um, yeah, it's going to be very interesting how we're going to get there. Simon has a laugh. Those who don't know, before Kashi game, but he got a text from Ajay, want to fix the game. Ranjit posted on X saying Kashi approached me to fix the game. Just yeah, what to say. If you say anything bad about him, instead his bhakts will come like bots. Their one and only thing our supreme leader is making players, sir. What have you done, sir? Why so negative, sir? Blue, I know what I've done for Indian football. Again, if he wants to come and have a conversation, more than enough. I know what I've done. Enabled a lot of things over the years, um, which are more important than what he's done. So I'm fine. And again, these are realities, and no one will take it away. One of our fans replied, "No club president gets direct message from a bookie. Why only you?" When deleted the tweet. Yeah, and that's the point, right? This is the point of trying to create narratives. Narrative creation, I think, is the right word in today's world. And it is a problem. It is a problem. We need to work on things. Things are not going in the right direction. That's very, very true. And I hope and I wish and I pray that we in Indian football get in the right direction. Long-term proper and guided planning is needed even at the cost of short-term problems. Yes, sort of I said months ago, short-term pain, long-term gain, to sum up what you've written over here. And I've told people multiple times that I feel, if I'm being very honest, it might be better to, say, don't hold the ISL this year. Don't hold it. Play it, plan it, organize it, run it properly. Make changes to the AFF constitution. Make the changes so that the league is run and organized by an independent body. And what has been proven over the last 3 months, you might hate as much as you want Reliance and FSDL. But what has been proven over the last 3 months is that they delivered a product with all its flaws. But that product was very, very good, very, very strong, commercially not viable, which the AFF can't organize, which the clubs can't organize. Right? And if there is a third party who's willing to lose 200, 300 crores a year, only then can they put such a product together at the moment. Reality, right? The clubs don't speak with one voice. The clubs, certain clubs don't realize that it is better to work together in a common interest, in a common pool, and fight it out against the AFF. You know, and the point is, which commercial partner, which broadcaster would be interested, right? That's the thing. Even if this year's ISL happens, what about upcoming years? ISL cannot happen every year in this way. Sort of, if it happens this way at the moment how it's running, you know, um, Um, at the moment, nobody's thinking about the long term. The AFF is talking about a 20-year plan. Listen, these guys most probably will not be in power in the latter part of this year. You know, you know. So the point is very, very simple. As good as a bad the ISL as a product was, it's being destroyed at the moment. So I don't even know if you have a product in the summer to try and bring up. Once a wise man, Amorin, said, we have to suffer, suffer, and suffer. Yeah, but Simon, I don't know, suffer, how many times you're going to say, suffer in a sentence when it comes to in connection with Indian football. So, you know a lot of inside information. Do you think with all the internal things happening in the background, will there be some sort of light at the end of the tunnel? Thinker, I hope. I don't know. I'll be very honest. I don't know at the moment if it will be, because the problem is that things have gone so bad that I think there are certain people, right, um, who can turn things around in the right way. And if you ask me that way, I will tell you I have my doubts at the moment, because I always say, and I've said this on these lives, look at old lives where I say, if we've gone into a black hole, and rather than trying to turn around and get out of the black hole, we're going deeper and deeper and deeper into the black hole, right? And you can't see the end, the light at the end of the tunnel, sort of, right? So that's the reality. There are good people. To say that everybody bad is wrong. Uh, and therefore, let's see. Good night, Simon. Hope to catch you tomorrow. Forget academy. Don't scouts find players from streets? In a movies, great Indian team in 60s, they showed a lot of players were scout from streets and worked on to play for Indian football team. Westhoff, nice story. But again, how good were those great Indian teams of the 60s and 50s? Again, that's also a reality check which we need to have. It doesn't happen. My point is, there must be the Messis, the Peles, the Maradonas, the Cruyffs in the world, natural talent who are really good. We don't find them, right? And that is a problem of our system, of our failed system. Ranjiv is the best defender. He blocks so quick and good. Anyways, good night. Take care. Maybe we'll be as confident in our lives as Cruyff, Jobe, when he gave the idea of crash course for strikers or goalkeeper academy or other things as well. Good night, Yuvraj. But now we have no option. If we don't organize the league now, it will be seen as a failure. And if we do, then it's a comedy show. Blue, we are in this catch-22 situation, and I still say it is better for the league not to happen than to happen. I think that the happening of the league in a bad way is a bigger harm than a league not happening. At least politically influenced people like Profilter can somehow bring a commercial partner, but no chance with this regime. Yeah, it was the case in the past. Can it be in the future? We'll have to wait and see. Suffer is a virtue which will never leave in your football till we learn from the past sufferings. Very, very true, Simon. Very, very true, Simon. And again, for this 10 years, only players' money got better. Why shouldn't we trust different plan, you're saying? What is the different plan? The problem with the players got more money has been a problem for the last 30 years that I've been seeing in football, right? Even in 95, 96, when the NFL started in 96, late 96, money was too much for the quality of football displayed. The money exponentially has grown, but that's been a problem. And the quality is not, never was good, right? But again, the quality elsewhere has drastically gone up around the world. And that is our problem. Was a problem, is a problem, will be a problem. And therefore, for me, if you ask me, Westhoff, um, there is no simple answer. But the point to me at the end of the day is that without the ISL and without a Reliance run ISL, there is no club football possible at top level in India if the clubs themselves are not willing to put it in, because nobody commercially or from a broadcasting standpoint will put in money. The little chance that would have been there maybe 2 years ago has been killed over the last over the last year. And that is thanks to the AFF, thanks to people like Ranjit, and thanks to the Supreme Court of India and the government. Right? You all together have gotten us to this state. And if I've embarrassed Indian football, we are a global embarrassment. That is the summary. Indian football is sadly an embarrassing thing. And that should not be the case, in my opinion. We shouldn't be talking about this. This is part of the problem of where we stand. And the question is, can we get out of this in a way that we are, yeah, that we are at least considered as a footballing nation? I hope, down the road that happens. But yeah, let's see. Right. Over to us of this football, Indian football and more discussion on this Friday evening. Yeah, things don't look good, but again, I will never stop doing these lives and putting hope into all of us that things will get better maybe one day. And again, we will wait and see. Um, like, share this video with people who you think might be interested. If you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel. We stand at 3,712 at this moment as we're coming to an end of the show. Thanks a lot. And watch my shorter content. Again, I did something on Bayern Munich today, on Real Madrid a couple of days back, but again, Indian football in between as well. And keep supporting Indian football, guys. With that, I come to an end. And you're welcome, Westhoff, everyone as well. Good night and catch you very, very soon.